Mike Scarborough, Buddy Songy out here with another Schmolke investment team instant analysis report outside of Tiger Stadium. Just got to see a full practice, situational work, offense, defense. Lots of quarterbacks look good. Lots of wide receivers making their way. And then while we tried to record this thing the first time, Quincy Wiggins and Fitzgerald walked up and boy, talk about two young guys that are looking really darn good right now. But Buddy, what did you think about what you saw today?
Two early enrollees visiting with us. Of course, we had to turn the camera off. Yeah, another beautiful day. Brian Kelly cannot gripe about the weather. Of course, we got washed last week one day, but all the other days, LSU has been practice outside. Of course, you could tell Brian Kelly got a little excited. First opportunity to get the Tigers in Tiger Stadium. And Mike, whether it's a scrimmage, whether it's a practice or a game, you heard Coach talk about this is a dry run. You're getting all the things, the I's dotted and the T's crossed. Next week, obviously, spring game, 1 o'clock at this time. A lot of vanilla. You're not going to see a lot of in-depth, intricate play calls, but they are rounded into shape. And as we always say, Mike, we'll give you some tidbits on this Saturday afternoon.
Well, Buddy, you asked the question last Saturday, and we said all along that's where it's going to go. And Brian Kelly did confirm it will be offense, defense in the spring game. But I thought some of the standouts today, I think Miles Brennan really looks really good. I thought Jaden Daniels had a nice throw at the end of the football game. Kyron Lacey with some big receptions today. Jeray Jenkins with some big receptions today. I thought Greg Brooks played very well. Let me see who else I thought. I think Walker Howard threw some nice balls today. I thought maybe Nussmeier, maybe not so much, but again, it's not like you had a big pass rush on a lot of these guys. Armani Goodwin, big run today. I think I might have got, yeah, I did get that on tape. So, by the way, my package today is going to be absolutely huge. I bet you it probably goes well over 20 minutes. I think, what did we get, like 12 or 18 periods we got to film? So lots coming your way on tigerbait.com. You're going to want to subscribe for that. And anything else you saw today? Who was your highlight on defense?
Well, back to those running backs, as we saw, as you said, Mike, Armani Goodwin actually showing that speed. You know, he's not been healthy since he's been in Tiger Town, and he was finally able to leg one out and show that he can take it to the house. You know, Josh Williams is continuing to get reps, and Trey Bradford. I don't think we've talked enough about Trey Bradford. Brian Kelly in the press conference today talking about him learning how to practice, learning all the details, you know, talking to the guys. I thought these guys would be tired and wore out, and Mike, they're in better shape. They know what to expect from this coaching staff. As you alluded to, Jeray Jenkins, folks, is going to be a guy that's going to start, and I think that he is developing an excellent bond, not only with Miles, but with all the quarterbacks. Certainly Malik
Neighbors today. Yeah.
Malik Neighbors is going to have a chance to be a big factor. No Jack Besh, no Keyshawn Butte. Obviously, they were out there. And, back to John Emery, that scare. Coach Kelly said ankle sprain, and he'll be out 2 or 3 weeks. We did see him, obviously.
Right, and he said Corey Connor will be 2 or 3 weeks, too. So, like you just said, Armani Goodwin, Williams, they're all going to get a ton of reps next Saturday.
Yeah, so you're going to have a program, but trust me, Noah Cain coming in. And this is the thing that you need to take into consideration, folks. You just mentioned it. Emery, Corey Kiner, Noah Cain, not going to be at the spring game. Obviously, Marlon Martinez, Emory Jones, who's coming in, and, of course, Garrett Dellinger. Those are 3 offensive linemen that aren't going to play next Saturday. So I think you're just getting a thumbnail sketch. And this is still a team. Go back and listen to the coordinators. This is a long process, and that's what I've been trying to tell the fans. You don't snap your fingers and have 85 guys that can play. They added Nick Storrs this week as a tight end, big number 48. He's a blocking tight end, not much of a receiving threat, but it's still a building block process. So have some patience and realize that you're just starting to scratch the surface at what this team is going to look like the first weekend in September playing Florida State in Superdome.
This instant analysis practice report is brought to you by the Schmolke investment team. Over 45 years of combined experience in handling their clients' financial needs. In this financial environment, experience matters. Call Bart or Brian Schmolke at 318-448-3201. That's 318-448-3201. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA/SIPC. I tell you what, I've just about done a whole 180 on Miles Brennan. I think this whole Brian Kelly regime with Denbrock and Joe Sloan, I think he's had a new lease on life. He's impressing me more and more every practice. I thought he looked really darn good today. And I'm not saying he's separating himself and he's the clear number one. I'm not going anywhere near there. But just kind of knowing maybe where he was mentally last year, after the injury and hitting the portal, I think he's got a whole new lease on life, a whole new outlook. And I think what's going on under this Brian Kelly program has done worlds for him. And so you need to be really start handicapping Miles Brennan, I think.
Well, and here's the interesting tidbit to follow up on that. They're going to have a different package for Jaden Daniels when you go RPO. And I know Coach Denbrock was asked about playing two, and Miles Brennan can't do some of the things Jaden Daniels can do, but Jaden Daniels certainly can't throw the deep ball and all the other things that Miles can do. So, look, I wasn't trying to trick the quote, Coach, but I was trying to get a little bit about what does it mean for the spring game versus the whole body of work. And I think that you saw him. He doesn't want to get into any depth chart battles. Look, the $64 million question, how are the four quarterbacks going to handle post-spring football? Are they going to look around and see a place to play? Or are they going to have an idea of where they fit in relation to 1, 2, 3, and 4? And it's across the board like that. But with these injuries at running back and other places, gives these backups a lot of reps, and that is what I'm taking from this spring. Developing depth in the backups. Mike, I still say LSU starters are going to be fine. You got to get 2 and 3 behind each starter, and that's a work in progress. Oh, by the way, Peyton Todd, disappointed to see him. He's still not feeling it. So you had the left footer being the starting punter. I think Jay Bramblett's going to come in and probably win that game, that job as the punter. But we did see a little bit of special teams, and as I said last week, no disrespect to any of these guys, but I do think Nathan Dybert's going to have to come in and kick.
I tell you, when we walked in, that's the first thing we saw. They were kicking field goals, and I saw some pretty decent, by far, misses. So, that's a work in progress. And
also punt returns. You saw you got to have somebody who can catch it and have some escapability as a punt returner.
Yeah, and he got a good start off with a big joke on that with Mason Smith fielding one. And that got the kids fired up. And that goes back to something we were talking about several times. Look, there's discipline out there, there's structure and all that, but these kids are having fun, no doubt about it. And something we picked up here a little while ago too is, believe me, even though the new staff came and the new strength coach got installed mid-December, there are some transformative things happen with these kids' bodies. And we're hearing about guys moving 15 pounds of fat to muscle within 3 or 4 months, and just I can't wait to see what these guys are going to look like come August when they've got even more months in the strength and conditioning program. I think there's some guys here that are going to look very much different and going to need a whole new set of clothes.
And listen, folks, it's one thing to have the T and the C, the trust and the communication. I don't think that there is any stone left unturned. You want to know what's going on, you go talk to your position coach or Coach Kelly. Very upfront, very transparent, and it's going to be interesting. As you said, a lot of these bodies are changing right now. You give them another 3 or 4 months with Coach Flint, I'm fired up to see what this team is going to look like. But look, folks, come out here, enjoy the weather, enjoy the pageantry. Oh, by the way, you've got some collision, LSU Missouri baseball across the street at the same time as the spring games, so you'll have to tweak your schedule with that. But I think what I've taken from the last week is just what Brian Kelly inherited as far as difference makers, number of players, the physicality at the line of scrimmage, deciding on who's going to be your quarterback, your kickers, your special teams. I mean, look, I keep saying it. You're not going to build this thing up the way they want to in 1 year. I think it's going to take Coach Kelly and his assistants a couple years to get the kind of physicality they want to play with moving forward. Mike.
He addressed a lot of issues. You'll see it. I've got the full Brian Kelly press conference today. You'll have that up on our YouTube channel as well. But you're really going to want to go to Tiger Bait and subscribe. I've got so much video. I'm telling you, that file is huge when I upload that. A lot of great video from today. Like I said, we were allowed to shoot probably a good 45 minutes, it seemed like. So that HD video package, you're going to want to subscribe to that. Go to Tiger Bait, subscribe. You can try for $1, try us for a week, and like I always tell you, choose the annual package. That gets you Tiger Bait for a whole year, and you save 3 months. You're getting 3 months free versus a monthly when you do that. So that's another Schmolke investment team practice report in the books, and we'll be back out here when
Thursday.
Thursday,
Next availability. By the way, a couple of tweaked Kobe Fields, an inside backer who's going to play on special teams and has done a good job backing up Mike Jones and Greg Penn. Of course, Wes Weeks and Micah Baskerville. Look, you're not going to see every guy that's dinged next Saturday. It's better to keep them, get them healthy going into the fall camp, but you're going to have enough to salivate your appetite for another exciting season. And work in progress. Sky is the limit, but right now, I guess cautiously optimistic is where I'm at, Mike.
That's it. I agree. All right, guys, we'll see you on the other side. Y'all have a good rest of the weekend. Happy Easter.